The unprecedented northeast monsoonic heavy downpour in the rainfall history of Tamil Nadu state had flooded the Chennai city, Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur and Kadalur districts. The Chennai city and its suburbs were flooded with water. Virugambakam Vembuliyamman Koil Street was flooded due to heavy rains. This street joins Arcot Road, which leads to Vadaparani on the east and Porur on the west. Vembuliyamman Koil Street and the surrounding area is highly populated with multi-storied apartments, Meenakshi Engineering College and independent houses. Subbaiah Meen Kuttai and Manthopu, with a water spread area of about 34 acres, is located on the western side of Vembuliyamman Koil Street opposite to MGM Flats. Subbaiah Meen Kuttai receives water from Porur Tank and the streets located in the upstream of the Meen Kuttai. The stormwater drain from Udayam Colony and Lambert Colony are let out into the Kuttai. The surplus water from the Kuttai finds its way and joins the Adayar River. The unprecedented rainfall had filled the Subbaiah Meen Kuttai and resulted in inundation of the parts of Vembuliyamman Koil Street, Udayam Colony, Lambert Colony and the surrounding areas. The possibility of draining the flood water by gravity was examined. On the western side of the Subbaiah Meen Kuttai is the catchment area where the water enters into the Meen Kuttai. On the northern side of the Subbaiah Meen Kuttai, Arcot Road is located with relatively higher altitude, which will not permit the water to drain by gravity. On the southern side of the Subbaiah Meen Kuttai, Meenakshi Engineering College is located with an elevation of 6 feet from the Meen Kuttai. The road opposite to Meenakshi Engineering College is also at a higher elevation. The water will not drain by gravity on the road. Rajamannar Salai, which is located on the eastern side of the Meen Kuttai, has relatively lower altitude through which the water can drain to the Adayar River. Unfortunately, the eastern side of Meen Kuttai is occupied by built-up land with multi-story buildings with protected compound walls. The built-up land and compound wall are the main hindrance of flow of water. With the above situation, various mitigative measures were planned and implemented to drain the water from Vembuliyamman Koil Street. In order to arrest further flow of water into the residential area, sandbags were dumped on the damaged compound wall area of the Subbaiah Meen Kuttai and the eastern side of Meen Kuttai at Udayam Colony and Lambert Colony. As a first immediate step, the compound wall in MGM Flats on the eastern side of the Meen Kuttai obstructing the flow of water was broken at the bottom at midnight, which facilitated the stagnated water to flow to Adayar River through Rajamannar Salai. The flow of water was rapid as Rajamannar Salai is on a comparatively lower altitude. The stagnated water was allowed to flow through Bangaru Streets 1 and 2, which joins with West Vannier Street and finally joins the Adayar River through Rajamannar Salai and MGR Canal. The stormwater drains through which Meen Kuttai water entered into the roads were identified and plugged. On the second day of flooding, the water level was brought to 1 foot and the flow of water was observed on the roads. As the level of water in the streets reduced, free flow through broken walls of MGM Flats was also reduced and it was slow. It was decided to pump out the water to Bangaru Street through the broken compound wall of MGM Flats. 570-meter pipe was erected up to the end of Bangaru Street, and the flow of water was directed through West Vannier Street, Rajamannar Street, and from there the water was drained through stormwater drains and MGR Canal to the Adayar River. To pump the water, 70 HP pump was used. Both surface water and the pumped water flowed through the broken wall, finally reaching the Adayar River. An open trench was excavated in the existing stormwater drain in Vembuli Amman Koil Street, which leads to Rukmani Street near Meenakshi College. The water collected in the pit was pumped through two 70 HP motor pumps to the Adayar River through West Vannier Street, Bazaar Street and Rajamannar Street. To bail out the water in Udayam Colony, 200 HP motor was utilized to pump the water from Vembuli Amman First Cross Street, and water was pumped to Arcot Road, which reached the Adayar River through West Vannier Street and the stormwater drains. During this activity, Arcot Road had witnessed flooding, and to avoid this, two 20 HP motors were installed on Arcot Road opposite to Kriyas to pump the water to Rajamannar Street via West Vannier Street. To accelerate the flow, a trench was excavated in the existing stormwater drain, allowing the flow of water through West Vannier Street to Rajamannar Street, which ultimately joins the Adayar River through MGR Canal. Subsequently, to avoid flooding on Arcot Road, which could hamper the heavy traffic, 200 HP motor pipe was diverted to Rukmani Saleh pit via a trench excavated across the road opposite to MGM Flats. From there, three 70 HP motors, one at MGM Flats and two at Rukmani Saleh, were used to pump the water to Rajamannar Saleh via Rukmani Street and West Vannier Street. The stagnated water on the road was pumped by 20 HP tractor-mounted motor and was let in the trench near MGM Colony. Necessary protection arrangements were made around the excavated pits for dewatering. As a result of the above activities, normalcy was restored at Vembuli Amman Koil Street, Udayam Colony and Lambert Colony. The indefatigable efforts of the government, as per the direction of the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, was much appreciated by the people of Vembuli Amman Koil Street and the adjoining areas.
2nd of December, when we woke up, Vembuli Amman Koil Street was having 3 feet of water, and we were almost unable to come out of our flat, and none of the apartments in the flat had power. So we just thought it would drain off naturally, because such a heavy rain, unprecedented in the last 100 years, is supposed to have this much of water. But 3rd December, 4th December, water was not receding, and we were extremely worried how the situation is going to improve for us. But it is at this time, thanks to the instruction and intervention of our Chief Minister, the government machinery was able to swing into action very, very fast. They were able to bring in the JCPs and other equipment needed for the revival of the street. They were able to create new trenches, let the water out. There were several pumps that were operating day and night, and almost within 4 or 5 days, the Vembuli Amman Koil Street has been restored almost to near normalcy. Now the residents of Vembuli Amman Koil Street have come out of the flood disaster, and we really owe our thanks to Amma.
100 வருஷம் எதிர்பார்க்காத மழை இந்த வருஷம் வந்து ஹெவியாக வந்து பெஞ்சதுனால இந்த சுப்பையா மீன்கோட்டையிலேருந்து ஹெவி வாட்டர் வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஃப்ளோ ஆகி நம்ம இதுலேயே வந்து வேம்புலியம் கோயில் சுற்றி உள்ள எல்லா இடத்துலையும் ஃப்ளாட்டு எல்லாம் வெளியிலேயே கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 5 அடி தண்ணி ஃபுல் தண்ணி. என்னடா பண்ண போகிறோம், ஏது பண்ண போகிறோன்னு ஒன்றுமே புரியல. சிஎம் வந்து இமீடியட்டாக அதை கிவன் த இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் வந்து டாட் போர்ட் பீப்புளெலாம் அந்த வந்து இமீடியட்டாக மோட்டர்லாம் எடுத்துகிட்டு வந்து 2-3 டேஸில் கிளியர் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. ரொம்ப நிம்மதியாக போச்சு எங்களுக்கு. ஆஃபீஸ்லாம் போய்ட்டு எல்லாருமே சௌரியமாக போயிடுச்சு. தேங்க்ஸ் டு அம்மா.
வேம்பலியம்மன் கோயில் தெருவில் 10 வருஷமாக இங்கே தான் இருக்கேன். திடீர்னு இந்த இவ்வளோ மழை பெய்யும்னு நான் எதிர்பார்க்கவே இல்லை. 5 அடி ஆழத்துக்கு தண்ணி வந்துருச்சு. அதிகாரிங்கள்லாம் வந்து அம்மா இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் படி அதிகாரிங்கள்லாம் வந்து மோட்டரை வச்சு ஃபுல்லாக தண்ணியை 2 நாளில் கிளியர் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. பசங்கள்லாம் விளையாடுறதுலேருந்து எல்லாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டாங்க. தண்ணி போயிட்டுது. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது இப்போ தான். தேங்க்ஸ் டு அம்மா.
And we had a terrible time managing that. The water level was around, some of the areas were 5 feet and no power for 2-3 days. And we don't know, we could not come out and everybody was suffering and all the ground floors got suffered heavily due to this. And fortunately, we should thank the Tamil Nadu government and the Honorable Chief Minister, Madam, for taking a prompt action, and she could restore the normalcy within 2 days.
இந்த வயசில் இந்த ஒரு மழை இந்த மாதிரி பார்த்ததே இல்லை. நான் பிறந்ததுலேருந்து எப்படி வந்ததுன்னு சொல்ல முடியல. அப்படியே ரைஸ் ஆகி நிறைய இதாகிட்டு குழந்தை குட்டிங்களாம் வச்சுட்டு, சின்ன பச்சை குழந்தை வச்சுட்டு நாங்கள் ரொம்ப அவஸ்தைப்பட்டோம். அப்புறமா அந்த அதிகாரிங்க அம்மா இது அவங்க எல்லாம் வந்து எல்லோரும் வந்து எங்களை பார்த்து எங்கள் நிலவரத்தை பார்த்து அவங்களே எங்களுக்கு இந்த பம்பு இதெல்லாம் வச்சு அந்த தண்ணியை வெளியேற்றி நாங்கள் எங்களுக்கு வந்து சீக்கிரமாக சரியாயிடுச்சு. 2 நாள் சரியாயிடுச்சு. எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. அம்மாவுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி.
Thanks to all of those who worked day and night to bring back normalcy in Vembuli Amman Koil Street.